It's money to shit. Working that bitch. Ballin' like Swish. Diamonds wet like a fish. Pull up with them sticks. Come fuck with the clique. We fucked on your bitch. She sucking the dick.
Do any of you guys on the panel remember Fernando Vargas?
Yeah.
Yep. You remember how they put that kid in way too early with Oscar? They put him in with Tito, and they put him in with Mayorga. Y'all remember that?
Right.
And he got knocked out viciously 3 times, and his career was never the same. We need to stop this pumping up this Vergil Ortiz kid, man. He's a good young kid. He's a good young prospect. He's gonna go far. But if you try to throw him in there with Bud, man, number one, it's gonna piss Bud off.
Man, stop.
And when Bud get pissed off, he gonna beat this little kid up and maybe destroy his career. So let's stop pushing that, man.
Yeah, because
he needs to go no further than maybe Boots. That's about the top competition he needs to face right now. He's not ready for Bud.
That's what I've
He's
been
not
saying the
ready
whole
for
time.
Harold. He's not ready
I've been
for
saying
Porter.
that the whole time.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. Boots might be a little bit ahead of him. A lot of people don't want to admit it, but Boots might be a little bit ahead because he's well-rounded. He ain't just throwing power shots. He's throwing heavy shots with combos, man. And I mean, he has a good chin too. So
and Boots fast as hell too, bro. He got fast.
He might not need to get another Boots. I was thinking. I've been saying the same thing you saying, Shelly. Him and Boots need to see each other before they even think about these upper echelon fighters. But at the same time, I looked at a couple of Boots fights today. I said, no, Ortiz needs to stay where he's at.
Boots is a monster, man. Boots is a monster, man. But look, fellas, I just want to chime in on that. Sorry about that. I just want to chime in on that, fellas. I'm still out taking care of business, man. When I get back to the house, I'm going to hit y'all up. Cool?
For sure. Yes, sir.
All right, brothers.
Safe,
have a good day, man. I'll see y'all in a minute.
Okay.
All right, bro.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I say this is what I say. I got a little bit of difference of opinion on that. I say let these motherfuckers go in there and fight. You never see and say you know how many people were saying that to any young champion that did what people thought they couldn't do. Like how many people said that shit to Ali? How many people said it to Teofimo just here recently with Lomachenko?
Ali was a whole different beast, though,
okay,
bro.
that's why I just can't fast forward though to Teofimo. Like how many people said that about him and Lomachenko? A lot of people said, "Nah, he's outskilled. This kid ain't gonna last." You know. I mean, but
Lomachenko went in and got a championship fight the first time.
Wilfredo Benitez was 17 years old when he won his championship. Nobody thought that kid was gonna do anything.
Who was that?
Wilfredo Benitez.
Okay, that was a different.
I'm just saying, this is my thing. You never know, fam. You never know. And Terence Crawford ain't fucking invincible. I think I'm picking Crawford all day in that fight. Don't get me wrong. This is not a Vergil beat Crawford thing. My thing is this. The dude can be hurt. He's been hurt in multiple fights. He got dropped by Kelly Exactly. He a man. This is boxing. Vergil Ortiz bring pressure. If he hurts Crawford, it's not out of the realm of possibility that he could stop him. Right? So, like, we never know when that next kid is going to be that guy. We never know, fam.
That's true.
I say, like, put him in the ring. If he gets his ass whooped, let me say this last thing. If he gets his ass whooped, it could mean one or two things. Okay, right. Hear me out. I pick Crawford too, but just hold on for a second. If he gets his ass whooped, it could mean one or two things. It could mean he takes his soul from him and ruins him, or it could mean Canelo. Because Canelo got completely outclassed. Nothing he could do, but it made him better. So it could be one way or the other. But we shouldn't just get into this mode of where, nah, don't let him fight him. That motherfucker's young, but he is a contender. He ain't no fucking prospect no more. He's a contender, fam. So if he gets his ass whooped, he gets his ass whooped. Those are the chances you take in this sport.
That's true, but why not let him face some Danny Garcias and some Sean Porter? They need to face guys that are hell of a welterweight fighters without belts, not the ones with the belts.
Is he a man?
Let me tell you.
Is he a man like the rest of us? And that man says he want to fight him.
Yeah, but you know what? What people are not realizing, Terence Crawford is a lot stronger now than what he was when he was fighting at a lighter weight, man. He's older, he's more in his man body and man strength, and he's hitting a whole lot harder. And he's sitting down on his punches more now. Huh?
Nah, throw him in there. Hey, throw him in there real quick, man. Now throw him in there, man. I don't want to, like our boy said, don't throw him in. Throw him in there. We're gonna show you what's gonna happen to Virgil. Y'all gonna ruin that man's career.
What I was going to say. Now DJ said something about Canelo, but before he said that, I was gonna say, man, you think you slick, man? You just want to get that man out the way because that's what's gonna happen to him. He get up there with the other cat, he's gonna be removed from the rankings real quick.
Hey, throw him in the lines there, man. Throw him in the lines there. See how long he can last.
I say throw him in there, fam.
You're gonna stunt his growth. You're gonna stunt it. You remember when you were younger, they talk about certain things to stunt your growth. That's
not definite, bro. That's not definite that you stunt his growth.
No, it's not. It's not. But he after what I saw with him and Hooker, he ain't ready for the other class, man.
Look, this what I'm gonna say about that. People try to make the exception the normal. You got exceptions. Some people are just, you can see the greatness in them. Those people can go. You don't see just greatness and it's not defined. When you see Muhammad Ali, he blowing everything up. You can see the depth. You can see that greatness defined. We see the difference between right now Vergil Ortiz and Boots Ennis. We saying it like, damn, Boots fluent. He got a heavy hand, punch selection, skills, can move. You see the difference in those two fighters. I would throw Boots in there before I would throw Vergil in there. I'm not gonna sit up here and make the exception of normal for every one of these fighters that ruin their career. Some of them develop slower than others. Some of them fighters are gonna develop that same punch selection and that same skill set that Boots have. Some of them are not. Some fighters develop a little bit slower, but you shake that out as you bring them along.
That fight that Vergil Ortiz just had with Maurice Hooker, although he won that fight, I guarantee you that kid learned a lot from that fight.
You goddamn right.
Because Hooker was piecing his ass up, man.
He didn't necessarily knock Hooker out. He broke his hand with a punch, which is cool. Yeah. But I mean, if Hooker was Boots, we wouldn't be talking about Ortiz anymore. I promise you.
He would have stopped Hooker though, fam. He would have stopped that motherfucker.
I don't know about that.
Man, that body shot, the way Hooker was sucking wind. He's like, I can't, man. The body shot.
But he recovered. He recovered after that and gave him some work.
Bro, that pressure started coming, man. I'm trying to tell you, bro. I think he would have stopped him, fam. I think he would have stopped. I've seen Hooker. We've seen Hooker.
He would have had it. Yeah, but Ortiz would have took more bruising and more nicks to his face before he stopped him.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Hooker was piecing his ass up, so he was going to take some punishment.
That goddamn check hook that he was hitting Ortiz ass with, if it had started to close them eyes up and he just started to circle left a little bit and come back and start working that right cross a little bit, he could have set something up down the line. He showed that against Cepeda. He showed that when he was in deep rounds and in the war before with that. So I'm not just gonna count Hooker out outside of the hand.
No, you're right too, because we never know. Plus, look who he had in the corner giving him instructions. You know, if we could sit up here and see that shit, you know, Bomac was seeing that shit. So that if he didn't hurt his hand, you never know what could have happened. I just before that fight, man. I'm telling y'all, bro. Before that fight, I was telling a lot of these Vergil Ortiz fans. I said, bro, let me tell y'all something, man. Hooker got skills. Vergil Ortiz ain't just gonna run through this dude. I was telling people all before the fight, he ain't gonna just run through no damn Maurice Hooker, man.
No,
because even I said, okay, with Jose Ramirez, right, with him,
right.
But that fight, it showed you that Hooker, you know, he has issues dealing with pressure, right? But at the same time, man, I say Hooker 2 or 3 years ago, he could have moved up to 147, man. Look at that dude's size and frame. So I was like, man, Hooker going to be a little more refreshed. He going to be stronger when he get up there. Y'all keep sleeping on Hooker. This dude a former champion, and he can box. I was like, nah, Vergil not going to
a lot of them laughed at me. A lot of them laughed at when I said Hooker had a shot at Ortiz.
They can't laugh at you. Whoever said that in the comment section, Hooker was done before he broke his hand. That's a damn lie. He recovered. That's bias. Stop that shit, man.
Stop that shit. Cut it out, bro.
Let me capitalize. Let me capitalize on what you said about Ortiz putting him in there with Crawford. You remember? Look, that's the thing with these youngsters, man. When it's levels to the shit. You know, when you was young, well, a lot of y'all young now, but especially Santos, you know what I'm saying. You know, when you young, and you couldn't stand some of these motherfuckers. You wanted to get them. You just knew, man, I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna find them. But you got up in there and you realized it was something different when you got up in there. See, everybody got to go through that as a youngster, no matter how hard you think you are.
Sometimes you gotta get your weight up.
Yeah, nobody's gonna humble. Fighters ain't humble, dog, until they get humble. Until somebody humble they motherfucking ass. That's what I'm saying. Throw Ortiz up in there, and I'll come on here and he go with all you. I guarantee you, Crawford's gonna beat that boy Pillar from post, man. I'm telling you. Don't have that boy telling you.
They're not gonna set that man up like that. Now I'm gonna tell you,
don't
DJ,
set that man up like that. That's what I'm saying. Don't do that.
I want to say one thing real quick. Let me just say one thing. I think, to be honest with you, Vergil Ortiz was landing some hard body shots on Maurice Hooker, and those body shots was already hurting him before the stoppage. Bro.
He recovered after that though, bro.
Ace Money's right. Ace Money, you're right. Nobody's saying you ain't right. He was hitting him, but what I'm saying is, like Senator said, he recovered, dog. Some motherfuckers
what's up, fam?
What up,
what's up, Ace Money?
What's good,
D Jeff? What's up, hermano? What's up, panel?
What's good, LT?
Let me say what I was typing in chat. I agree. Boots, they're preparing him better than Ortiz, and I blame that on Oscar de la Hoya putting more attention to more resources, attention on Canelo and Ryan Garcia. When I know that Vergil Ortiz has more raw talent than Ryan Garcia. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
So he could have found a better opponent to step him up. So I think Boots is probably better, more prepared than Vergil Ortiz.
I think Vergil Ortiz is better prepared, to be honest. Let me say this real quick.
I'm not gonna say he beats. No, I don't think he beats him. I'm pretty sure right now if they both fight, they're gonna be a fucking war, bro.
I can say this.
I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna say that. Oh, Boots is gonna kick Ortiz's ass, bro. Because no, bro. This is okay. Vergil Ortiz is a true fucking warrior, bro. You just see him. You just see the fucking beast. You just see the fucking Mexican in him. He's one of those kids that's probably gonna die inside the ring.
I agree.
That's what
he has raw fucking talent. Right, he has raw fucking talent. Now going back to Hooker. Bro, now going back to Hooker, bro, Hooker was done already, bro. Ortiz was already unleashing the fucking beast, bro. Hooker only had one round, bro.
T.Y., let him say his opinion, bro. Go ahead.
Hooker only had one round that you could say, wow, you know what? He really taught that kid. One round. As soon as Hooker took the knee, bro, that was the key. Bro, as soon as Hooker took the knee, as soon as Hooker took the knee, that's the key of a Mexican. He sees blood, he's gonna go after it hard. And already in Hooker's mind, he's already defeated and holding off the attack. That's why he's prepared to say, okay, right now I'm holding.
I agree with that. Can I say this?
The punches that he took after the punches that Ortiz took after Maurice Hooker got back up off the canvas, he can't take that from Boots. He can't take that from any of the elite fighters.
Let me say this, guys. Can I say something, please? Because LT is right. Vergil Ortiz was dominating the fight. Vergil Ortiz
he wasn't dominating the fight.
No, he wasn't.
Bro, wasn't he not dominating the fight? Bro, how many rounds you gave Hooker, bro? How many rounds you gave Hooker?
What you call dominating the fight?
What do you mean he dominated the fight? Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. He's saying like he broke his hand and that was it. Bro, get the fuck out of here, bro.
You're supposed to go with Vergil Ortiz. You being biased, bro. We know you won the fight, but you talking about the Mexican warrior hard.
Bro, how am I biased if I'm saying fucking Hooker is Boots is more prepared? How am I being biased?
Yeah, because you can't
be
biased.
Shut the fuck up, motherfucker. You don't even know shit. Bro, you don't know fucking shit. Bro, you know what? You don't know shit. That's why you don't have your fucking channel.
This is a mature panel. Don't start all that today, man.
Let me say something real quick. Wait, chill. Hey, T.Y., chill, bro. Look. Damn. Hey, let me say this real quick. I agree with LT because I feel like Vergil Ortiz was dominating the fight. Even though Maurice Hooker had some good moments where Maurice Hooker landed some hard shots, but Vergil Ortiz was dominating the fight, especially with those body punches. And before even the injury of Maurice Hooker was on his way out anyway. So with that being said, now if you look at the resumes, Vergil Ortiz been fighting better competition than Jaron Ennis, and Vergil Ortiz has been in less fights. Vergil Ortiz only got 17 fights. He already beat Mauricio Herrera. He knocked out undefeated Brad Solomon. You know what I mean? And he beat, who else he beat? He beat Brad Solomon. He beat Samuel Vargas. And now he just beat Maurice Hooker, bro. So he got a way better resume than Vergil. I mean, Vergil Ortiz better resume.
I don't know. Wait, I know Ennis has knocked everyone out except two of his opponents.
Who did Ennis beat? I just named you.
It don't matter. He's knocked out 24. He's knocked out 24 of them. He's knocked out 24 of them.
That doesn't matter, bro.
Let me finish. Let me just say this real quick.
Because at this point in their career, it don't matter. It don't matter. If they don't have any upper echelon fighters in their resume, it don't matter at this point in their career. He's got 24 knockouts. He's got 17. It ain't no different to me. But I know one thing, what I saw in the two of those guys after watching Boots fights today, he didn't want none of Boots, especially after what business he got with Maurice Hooker. Y'all can kill all that noise. Y'all can say what you want to. The boy wasn't ready for those boots.
Emotional ass.
He's ready for those boots. And he definitely ain't ready for the upper echelon of the fighters.
I just don't agree with that.
Hey, I don't see these programs too many times, man. The boy ain't ready.
Bro, I hear you.
The boy ain't exactly.
Okay, hold on. That's two different discussions. I'm not even talking about whether you're ready or not. I was just talking about the level of competition. Even at this stage of their career, if you fighting like B-level fighters and better, but versus all low-level fighters, nah, dog, that does matter. You gotta hone your skills in this sport. Hold on. I'll let you talk, bro. Let me get it off now. Let me get it off.
My bad. So I just want to hear the competition.
Yeah. No, I ain't trying to compete with you. I'm just giving my piece, dog. I'm just saying.
What I was gonna say, I just want to hear the competition that he's beaten. Those 17 knockouts. Outside of
I just named it though.
Here's three significant people, which is Hooker, which we just thought. And yes, I'm with LT on this. Like I said to y'all guys before he came on, I felt like he was going to stop him. He was going to get him, right? So either way, he got the stoppage, right? But we talking Brad Solomon, and then we talking Orozco. He stopped Orozco, and then he stopped Vargas, right? So these are guys that
which Vargas?
Samuel Vargas.
We talking about guys that we're not used to seeing.
Ain't that great though.
But we talking about guys that we're not used to seeing get stopped, bro. Right? So we talking about, when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about the type of punches that he was placing on Hooker, bro. Hooker was getting broken down. This dude was going to be out of there. And the only thing I'm saying about Vergil Ortiz and Boots Ennis, when you talk about level of competition, when you stop in Vargas, he ain't that great. But he greater than anybody Boots been in that ring with. Anybody.
Chris Van Herden.
I don't know. I've seen some.
I got stopped in the first round by hit. That don't even matter.
Lipinets and Van Herden is better than anybody.
But he ain't fought Lipinets yet, bro.
He ain't fought Lipinets.
He's gonna fight Lip. He's going to fight.
Yeah, that's next Saturday, though. Right now. What's true? Let me say this. D. Jefferson is right. Out of 17 fights for Vergil Ortiz, he's already been in there with Brad Solomon, who was undefeated at that time, knocked him out. He knocked out Samuel Vargas. He's the first man to stop Mauricio Herrera, and then he just beat Maurice Hooker. And that's all.
Y'all hyping him up a little more than he needed to be at this moment.
He got a better resume. I took a
good look at that fight, man.
Go ahead.
And who in this panel felt that he wasn't going to beat Hooker by stoppage anyway? All of us felt like he was going to win by stoppage. But who was surprised with the job that Hooker did on him?
I was not
Every
surprised.
last one of them.
No, bullshit. I just told you guys. I got it on my channel on live. I was saying that Hooker is going to.
You figured it's going to be that tough of a.
Yes.
You figured it's going to be that close.
Yes, brother. Yes, because.
Okay, let me ask you. Did you figure that Hooker was going to? Did you figure Hooker was going to hurt him at times?
Now that was a little bit of a surprise.
Okay, then that's what I'm saying, because he got hurt a couple times by Hooker.
Hey, bro. I knew Hooker was going to give him plenty of problems, and I said it.
We all knew that.
No, plenty. So I wasn't surprised how that fight went. I'm telling you, I'm not surprised at all how that fight went because
that's why
I don't know why people were underestimating Maurice Hooker, and then they weren't paying attention to the fucking corner and the team he had around him. So that's what I was saying
too. That's what I was saying too. That's why I was telling everybody before they fought. The Hooker's gonna give him more of a battle than they think. Now, the Hooker caught him a couple of times, whether they want to admit it or not. He caught him a couple of times.
Caught him clean a few times. I say more than a couple times.
These guys talking about he was dominated by Ortiz. Bogus. He was not dominated. I'm gonna tell you something. You don't gain more fans and more respect after being dominated. I ain't never seen that before in my life, and I've been living 53 years, bro.
Wait. So Ortiz didn't dominate Hooker?
No.
I think so.
Okay, hold on.
Took some shots, but he did dominate him and stop him.
Bro. Okay, so on how many rounds you gave Hooker then?
I got to go back and look at the fight, but I think he got 2 or 3 at least out of that fight.
My God, bro, 2 max, bro, two rounds max, bro.
Your motherfucking rabbit ass.
Bro, this guy, bro. 2 rounds max, bro, and the definite one that you could say, okay, he got his way was on the 4th.
Man, what fight you watching, man?
Hey,
Look at this guy, bro. Fuck out of here, bro.
The way the way the fight was storyline and the way it was supposed to play out, Hooker was not supposed to win 2 rounds or 3 rounds. He wasn't supposed to win.
Don't come with that narrative. Don't come. The narrative was The narrative was that Hooker was gonna present the biggest test for Ortiz. That was the narrative. Hooker was gonna be the biggest test for Ortiz, not that Hooker was gonna, not that Ortiz was gonna walk through him. Don't fucking lie, bro. Get the fuck out of here with those fucking lies, man.
Just say what y'all gotta say when y'all start hollering. You can't hear nobody.
Yeah, one at a time.
Just one at a time, bro.
Okay. Let me say, bro. The narrative. No. Okay, the narrative was.
Slow down.
Listen. No, okay, let me talk.
Hold on. What grade do you give Ortiz?
No. I listened to what you said. I listened to what you said, and you lied. You lied. No. I listened to what you said. Okay, I'm gonna shut up once I'm done. Okay, I listened to what you said.
Wait, chill.
Okay. Okay. Listen. Bro.
What grade do you give Ortiz?
What grade? Get the fuck out of here with grades, bro. It's fucking scorecards, bro. Oh, he's in the 7th grade.
What grade do you give it? What grade do you give it?
Listen. Okay. Look, you want to debate? Do you want to debate? I want to talk over each other.
Chill, bro. Let them one at a time. Go ahead.
Okay, let me go. Okay. You said that the narrative was that Hooker was not going to present any test. That Ortiz was going to walk through him.
Don't put words in my mouth.
No, you basically said it. Listen, let me talk.
I never even used the word test.
No, let me talk. Let me talk.
My bad. Cinco, let him finish. Cinco, one at a time.
If he go,
no. The narrative was. Then listen. The narrative was that Hooker was going to present the biggest test for Ortiz. That was the narrative. And you just said right now, bro, that how they said it, how they sold the fight, that Ortiz was gonna Hooker was not even gonna win 1 or 2 rounds. That's what you just said.
No, I didn't.
And that's a fucking lie. You see how you're lying, bro? Okay, from now on, I shut up and now I'm gonna let you talk.
Go ahead.
What I said is the way that they laid the storyline out for the fight, that he was going to dominate the fight against Hooker. Not that he was going to win however many rounds, because I don't know how many rounds they're going to win. He wasn't supposed to get hurt by Hooker, but he's supposed to be tested. I didn't say that part at first, but I'm saying it now. He was supposed to be tested by Hooker. We all knew that, but at the same time, a domination to me, you don't. The person who's dominated don't hurt the other person multiple times. The person that's dominating the fight shouldn't come out all questionable before the fight is over with, before he gets the other guy in trouble. It shouldn't have been a question of who was dominating. Just like we just saw Keyshawn Davis, this guy, that was a domination. That guy never hurt him or anything. Now my thing is, if you, I just want to know what grade do you give Ortiz for the performance that he put on Hooker, because Hooker is not an upper echelon welterweight.
Okay, let me read this comment real quick. We got YSM Sports Media, one of the best channels on YouTube, man. Everybody go subscribe to him. Thank you for coming through. He said, how is a 140-pounder who had 3 draws and was brutally stopped in 2 rounds by Ramirez going to give a big welterweight in Ortiz his biggest test? Maybe because he was so young at the time, and that was Vergil Ortiz toughest opponent, because Vergil is very young, and Vergil has never been in there with a puncher like Maurice Hooker. What do you think about that, D. Jefferson? You on mute? Come off mute, D.
Not only that, with this comment right here, YSM, bro, Ramirez and Maurice Hooker's ready for 147. So you can't, like, you're using 140 as if both of these guys not ready to fight at 147. What the fuck you think that Josh Taylor and Ramirez said they're going to do after their fight? Go to 147, because they already ready for that. So using that 140-pounder shit, that's just ridiculous. I just said earlier that Maurice Hooker could have moved up 2 years ago. Look at that dude's height and frame. That's a nonsense comment. That's what I think about that. That's a nonsense comment.
I agree with you on that, brother. And also, I agree with you on that. And also, what a lot of fans don't realize is that these guys know about one another in the circuit of professional boxing. They know that a lot of these guys are training and sparring with heavier guys already, not necessarily the guys of their weight division.
Exactly.
Most of these guys are walking around at a heavier weight than what they're fighting. So that's why it's so hard for them to make the weight. So they already know what they can do. Their peers know what they can do. So it wasn't a surprise to me that Hooker could get in there with Ortiz. I knew he was going to give him some business. But at the same time, I didn't know how long it was going to last. Even Maurice Hooker himself said this fight will not go the distance. It's going to be a stoppage, because he fights and I fight, and they both knew each other. You know what I'm saying? But not from fighting each other, but from around the weight. But at the same time, I wasn't being biased in the fight. I just saw the dog I had been hearing about in Maurice Hooker in a losing effort against Ramirez. And so after what I saw of Ortiz, and now I admit I haven't seen all of Ortiz's fights, but I seen a couple of them. And after I saw what he was doing and against the competition he was doing, I knew he was going to have a couple of issues with Hooker personally. I knew that. But I didn't feel that Hook was going to beat him, because I figured Ortiz would come out the victor in the long run, because to me, Hooker has a hell of a heart, bigger than his chin, and he got strong punches. But his chin is not always the thing. But the surprising thing for me in the whole entire fight is the fact that Hooker's chin was great. It was his body that gave him that Ortiz got him at. That was the main thing that slowed him and stopped him. But outside of the handbrake, but I don't agree that it was a domination though. That's just my opinion. That's y'all's opinions that he did dominate, but that's not my opinion though.
My thing with, like, okay, so when I say a fighter dominated a fight, or at least the way I see it is, if you got 2 guys in there. After he got hurt, like, I see, okay, to me, Vergil Ortiz was given more punishment. That's number one. He was definitely winning more rounds. But after he hurt him, I felt like he was going to stop him. If the broken hand didn't come, I felt like he was going to stop him. So to me, that's domination. That's not that it was just like a one-sided affair. If you're looking at like, oh, he dominated the fight, and someone saying it was a one-sided affair, not necessarily so, because I believe you can have fights where one guy dominates, but the opponent puts up a good fight. He still puts up a good fight. He just, he lose every round, or he lose the majority, like 9-3 or something like that. He's been dominated in that fight, but doesn't mean he didn't put up a valiant effort.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I respect it, man. I'm just saying, to me, a domination, you don't one opponent doesn't have a whole lot of little moments in each round.
Bro, let me say this, bro.
Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish, bro. The opponent that's being dominated, in my opinion, I'm not used to seeing that opponent having a lot of little moments that's going his way in the fight, throughout the fight, even after he's been hurt, But at the same time, I never seen where a guy was dominated, but he picked up more fans and picked up more respect in the business. I haven't seen that, and he gained fans and respect from a lot of fans in that fight, in my opinion, and from what I was hearing the commentators say, and then from what I've heard throughout the internet over YouTube since that fight. But
the thing is, he dominated, like I said, with a valiant effort. And when you do that
doesn't take from Ortiz, though. That doesn't take from Ortiz, but it just showed me that if Maurice Hooker could give him that type of fight, we don't need to be talking about the Crawford.
Bro. Okay, let me say this. Hold on, bro. So look, to me, Hooker, that wasn't the fight that he fought. Hooker's plan was not to fight that fight. Hooker's plan was to fight like he fought on the 4th round. Am I right, D. Jefferson?
I agree.
He only had 1 or 2 rounds on his way of fight. The rest were Ortiz's fight. Ortiz dragged him to his war, to his game on the rest of the fight. So that's how, in my eyes, he dominated, because he's fighting his game, not his. Hooker fought on his game 2 rounds at most.
Well, as far as the domination, it's a matter of opinion, and I respect y'all's opinion.
I agree. And let me go back to this. Hooker got hurt, and he took a knee by himself.
Yeah.
He got up and he got ready for war. I appreciate that. I like that. That's why I'm not putting down nothing bad on Hooker, because I appreciate that war. Okay, following the next rounds, he was already done, bro. He was already done. He was fighting his fight. See, Hooker went down on his knee fighting Ortiz's war, bro. And he got up and he started fighting the same fight that Ortiz wanted him to fight. That kid was done, bro.
He's right.
He even said it. He couldn't even breathe. Bro, Ortiz was piecing him out. Ortiz was piecing him out, bro.
But he's right, though. LT is right. Let me say this. LT is right.
That was an earlier body shot when he said he couldn't breathe. That was an earlier
those body shots was hurting Maurice Hooker.
But he kept throwing them.
You get no rebuttal from me about that. It was definitely the body shot. That's what took him out, really, outside of the handbrake. But what my whole argument. Normally, I don't try to argue with anybody, but my whole argument, he's not ready. Ortiz is not ready for the upper echelon. Y'all can say what you want to. You're going to sabotage his career if you do.
Yo, Santos, we respect your opinion for sure. You got a lot of boxing knowledge. But if Ortiz feel like he's ready, we got to respect that. If Ortiz says
ready.
Yeah, if
he Ortiz, said, even though I'm not ready, I still want to fight.
No, he didn't say that. He said, I don't care if I'm ready or not. I want to fight. He didn't say... He said, I don't know if I'm ready or not, but I want that fight. That's what he said.
Exactly. But that's also... But if you simplify it, it basically means I know I may not be ready, but I still want to fight because he's a fighter. He's a fighter. That's why he wants to fight.
Yeah. I agree because they asked him, they said, are you ready for Terence Crawford or Earl Spence? They was in the arena, and he said if they want to make the fight, he said he'll do it. So it wasn't like
I don't know. He said, I don't know if I'm ready or not. I just want to
Can I say something that you guys probably missing? Okay. On that fight, bro, no DAZN executives showed up to the fight. Like, basically left Oscar de la Hoya by himself. The rumors are that they're just waiting for Oscar de la Hoya's contract to to end with DAZN. So, because Oscar's contract, Golden Boy's contract was to promise big fights, and he can't deliver. That's why they're pushing, you're going to fight Ortiz with Crawford? That's why they're throwing that narrative. Oh, you're going to fight Ortiz with Crawford and maybe make it 1 or 2 fight deal? You know what I mean? Regardless of the outcome. Or they want De La Hoya or they want De La Hoya to fight. That's why the guy that fucking puts the fucking microphone on his face. Chris Mannix. That's why are you training? Are you winner? That's why Chris Mannix told De La Hoya, are you willing to come back? Are you training? That's why he pressured that question. Because De La Hoya sold his soul to the devil, bro, for that fucking contract. And he has no way to fulfill it.
Come on, man.